In this video, we're going to look at techniques to record high-quality on-camera interviews. On-camera interviews are the primary storytelling vehicle in many digital storytelling projects. On-camera interviews can impart valuable information. They can also deliver an emotional punch to keep the viewer engaged with the material. They instantly put a human face on your story. Here are a few techniques for recording engaging and informative on-camera interviews. Find a compelling interview location. Look for an interview background that represents the personality or occupation of the interview subject. Check for background noise before shooting. You may have found the perfect location for your on-camera interview, but it might be unusable if the background sound is too distracting or overwhelming. Set up your interview shot to maximize depth. This is a quick and easy way to make your interview shots look more professional. The idea is to create as much separation between your subject and the background. This will push the background slightly out of focus in camera, focusing the viewer's attention on the interview subject. One trick to get as much depth as possible is to shoot into the corner of the room. Set up your shot using the rule of thirds. This will give your shot a pleasing composition. The interview subject should be looking slightly off camera at the interviewer. And then there's lighting. The foundation of all video and film lighting is the three-point lighting system. The first light is the key light. This is the main light in the setup, and it's placed about 45 degrees off axis of the camera and angled about 45 degrees above the interview subject's eye line. An easy way to remember the proper placement of the key light is to place it so that it creates a triangle between the camera and the subject, with the camera on the shadow side of the interview subject's face. The second light in the three-point lighting system, called the fill light, fills in the shadow area created by the key light. You could also use a bounce card or reflector as a fill light source. You want the fill light to be less intense than the key light. The slight shadow gives the subject visual dimension, a technique called modeling. The third light in the three-point lighting system is the backlight or hair light. It's usually a high-intensity source that creates a rim of light around the subject's head and shoulders. This helps separate the subject from the background, creating depth. Optionally, you can add a light to subtly illuminate the background so that it reads. Capturing strong, clean sound for your interview subject is vital. Lavalier microphones are the tool of choice for capturing high-quality interview sound. You can clip the mic onto the subject's jacket, shirt, or blouse. Optimal placement of the lav mic is about 4 to 6 inches below the mouth. In some cases, a lav mic can be too cumbersome, in which case you might want to use a shotgun microphone. The shotgun mic can be suspended from a boom arm or a mic stand. The key to getting good sound with a shotgun mic is to place it as close as possible to the subject, without getting it in the shot. Make sure it's pointed at the subject's mouth. When recording your interview subject, set the mic level to peak around -12 dB. That will give you a strong recording level, but still allows some headroom if the interview subject speaks louder. You don't want the audio level peaking past 0 dB. Past 0 and your sound will be distorted. Here are a few tips for actually conducting on-camera interviews. If the interviewer is off camera and their question will not be heard in the final edit, instruct the interview subject to incorporate the question into their answer. This will give the answer necessary context. For example, if I ask you, "What did you have for breakfast?" and you answered, "Bacon and eggs." In the final edit, the viewer would just hear "bacon and eggs" and could be confused as to the meaning of the phrase. Incorporating the question into your answer, you would most likely reply, "For breakfast, I had bacon and eggs." It's a small technique that pays big dividends in editing. Finally, once the on-camera interview is finished, have everyone sit quietly and then record at least 30 seconds of the ambient sound of the room. This room tone recording will help you smooth cuts between interview clips later in the editing process. Don't leave location without recording room tone. We covered a lot of material in this video on recording on-camera interviews. And that's because on-camera interviews are the narrative backbone of many video stories. You don't want to waste a subject matter expert's time or your time by recording poor quality material.